Hi and welcome to yet another tutorial. My name is Mila and today we are going to be making those beautiful pleated white leg pants using my pattern called Clear. To sew the layer pants, choose light or medium weight fabrics with good drape. Also, we'll need medium weight fusible interlacing, closed and out the zipper 20 cm length, hook and knife for sewing fastener and sewing thread. Mark the center line and measure 3/4 inches 2 cm from it. Trim the left hand front of the opening straight. Next, we'll need to apply interfacing along the pocket line in the center seam on the left front to prevent them from stretching. Apply the interfacing to the wrong side of the belt loop, fly guard, belt, waistband and fly front facing of the right front. Overlock the edges of the front and the back pieces and the sides of the pockets, or you can use a regular zigzag stitch. Transfer the back darts to your fabric using chalk or a fabric pencil. Pin the lines together and stitch the darts. Tie the threads of the dart into a double knot and then snip the excess threads away. Press the darts towards the center seam. Moving on to the pockets. Place the pocket lining on the front panel, right sides together, and pin edges that have been cut on the ankle. Stitch using 3/8 inches 1 cm seam allowance. Turn the seam allowances towards the pocket lining and top stitch. Turn the pocket lining to the wrong side and press it. Join the hip front pocket with the pocket lining right sides together, pin in place and stitch using 3/8 inches 1 cm seam allowance. Overlock the pocket edges. For a nicer finish, pull the end of the threads into the stitch using a hook. Sew the pockets to the front panels by making a seam 3/16 inches 5 mm from the edge. Join the front and the back panels right sides together and pin the side edges. Stitch using 3/8 inches 1 cm seam allowance. Press the seam allowances open. Pin the inside seam allowances right sides together, join the marks on the front and the back panels, then pin the part that needs to be stretched. Press this seam, stretching the fabric of the back panel. Then stitch with a seam allowance of 3/8 inches 1 cm from the edge. Press the seam allowances open. Now we are ready to move on to the pleat front zipper. Pin the fly guards right sides together and stitch at 1 cm 3/8 inches away from the edge. Trim the seam allowances, leaving 3/16 inches 5 mm from the edge. Make the notches on the curved edge. Turn out the pleat front guard to the right side and press it. Then overlock the open edge of the pleat guard. Place the closed zipper right side up on the pleat guard and pin them. The zipper tape should be flush with the bottom edge and serged edge of the pleat guard. Stitch at 3/16 inches 5 mm away from the edge. Use a zipper foot to make a seam. Here is how the pieces should look. Place the pleat guard on the left front panel on the right side, so that the zipper is between the pleat guard and the front panel. Pin in place. Using a zipper foot, stitch with a seam allowance of 3/8 inches 1 cm from the edge. Join the two punt legs together. Begin by turning one sewn punt leg right side out. Then insert this punt leg into the other, so that right sides of the fabric are touching. Now pin the crotch seam of the two punt legs together, making sure that all seams and notches are aligned. Make a seam starting at front and ending at the back top edge, backstitching at both ends. For extra durability, make a second seam over the first one. Top stitch the left front section to the zipper guard using a zipper foot. Mark the center lines of the both front panels using chalk or a fabric pencil. On the right front panel, turn the pleat front facing on the wrong side and press it. Match the center lines of the right and left panels and pin them in place. Carefully unfold the fly front facing on the wrong side and stitch on sewn side of the zipper drape to the fly facing. Transfer the top stitch line to a fabric. On the wrong side, turn the flight front guard to the left front and pin it. Pin the right front to the flight front facing along the top stitch line. Top stitch only the straight part of the marked line. Fold the zipper guard back in place and pin. The next set of stitching will secure the zipper guard and stop it flapping around. Finish the top stitching at the bottom of the fly opening through all layers. For extra durability, make zigzag seams at the beginning and the end of the curved line. Moving on to the pleats, belt loops at the waistband. Fold the pleats towards the center, matching your size marks. Pin in place. Then sew along the top of the front with the pocket together, stitching through all layers. Use the seam allowances of 3/16 inches 5 mm from the edge. To make belt loops, fold the strip in half right sides together and pin in place. Stitch with the seam allowance of 3/8 inches 1 cm from the edge. Fix the seam by backstitching at the beginning and the end. Then trim the seam allowances, leaving approximately 3/16 inches 5 mm from the edge. Using a safety pin, turn out the strip. Press the strip. Top stitch the strip as close to the edges as possible. Cut the strip into 5 pieces, 3 and 9/16 inches 9 cm long, or use the markings of the pattern. The width of the finished belt loop should be 3/8 inches 1 cm. Pin the ends of 4 belt loops in place at the markings indicated on the front and back like pattern pieces. The last belt loop will be positioned at the center back. Attach the waistband to the top edge of the pants right sides together so that the belt loops are between the pants and the waistband. Sew all together using a seam allowance of 3/8 inches 1 cm from the edge. If your zipper was longer than your fly front, trim the ends with sharp scissors. Also, cut the excess threads away. Fold the waistband in half right sides together and pin the side edges. Stitch the sides of the waistband directly next to the edge of the flight front. Clip the corners so the waistband can be neatly turned right side out. Turn the waistband right side out and press. Fold the inside edge of the waistband by 3/8 inches 1 cm and pin in place around the circumference of the waist of the pants. Make a hand blind stitch to attach the waistband edge to the pants. Press the waistband. Fold the belt loop by 3/8 inches 1 cm and pin to the top edge of the waistband. Carefully stitch one layer of the belt loop next to the edge. Then top stitch the belt loop by 3/8 inches 1 cm from the edge. Moving on to the belt. Fold the belt in half, right sides together and pin in place. Make a seam 3/8 inches 1 cm from the edge, leaving the center open approximately 3 inches or 8 cm to turn the belt out. Trim the corners. Turn the belt right side out and form sharp corners. Press the belt. Top stitch the belt as close to the edge as possible. Mark a line 3 1/16 inches 9 cm from the edge. First fold the hem by 3/8 inches 1 cm and then double fold it by 1 9/16 inches 4 cm up to this line. Pin the hem and sew as close to the edge as possible. Time for the finishing touches. Sew the hook to the right side of the waistband by 3/8 inches 1 cm from the edge. Close the zipper and mark the place for the eye of the left side of the waistband. Sew the eye. Pull the belt through the belt loops and enjoy your new brand layer pants. I'd love if you could give it a like and subscribe to this channel. Have a happy sewing and thanks for watching!